What's going on, guys? Week 13 of the Laces Out podcast is here, and we got our normal crew here finally back. We got Waterboy, J-Bunk. How's it going, guys?
What's up, man?
Doing good. Glad to be back joining you fellas this week after a good Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody filled themselves up and, have a few pounds to shred off before the new year. How did everyone's Thanksgiving go?
Good, man. Went good. Cooked a feast.
I saw. You literally had everything you could ask for. Anything you can think of a Thanksgiving dinner. Bunk sent me a video, and it was just literally everything.
The worst part was being up, at 5 a.m., getting the turkey on, basically cooking until 1 p.m. and not having breakfast. By the time everything was done, I was freaking starving, just freaking cooking all that food, just having to look at it.
Well, did you at least have leftovers?
Dude, I ate leftovers for like 3 or 4 days, man.
That's the thing, man. Whenever you host something and you have all the leftovers, it's like, damn, I don't know if I want to eat this for the next 5 days. But I mean, hey, it's gonna go to waste if not. What about you, Waterboy? How did you spend your Thanksgiving? I heard you had a nice vacation.
Oh yeah, man, it was good. Well, Thursday, done the family and friends and ate a bunch, and then, man, we peeled out to Jamaica and went down there and seen the sight and sounds of the islands, and really enjoyed ourselves down there. Went on a few river adventures, done some swimming, some rafting, some cliff jumping, all the stuff that a water boy would do.
Man, now I just feel like a lazy piece of shit now after hearing what all you've done. I'm like, damn, I just sat around and ate fucking turkey. And I ate 3 because I had
a lot of dirt.
Yeah.
A lot of jerk chicken and a lot of red stripes, man.
Nice, man. Well, guys, we're here once again, with another Laces Out podcast. It's week 13. Let's recap a little bit on week 12. Did any games really stand out to you, or any game didn't go your way that you thought it was going to do? Because I will say...
How's the painting going? It's
going
pretty good.
Hang on one second. We had an ad for some reason. I'm not getting paid for that, so we're going to pause that. But for some reason, Bunk was talking good about Joe Mixon. He's going to pop off, and boom, you saw what he did last week. Bunk, how did you do it? I mean, do you have the Hexorcist now? Do you have the dummies, the voodoo dolls?
I mean, he was playing Pittsburgh. I mean, that's all there is to it. He ran all over him, man.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 165 yards, and 28 carries. Steelers just don't look like the Steelers that we've seen in the past, or expected them to play at the beginning of the season either. But what about you, Waterboy? Any games really point out to you last week?
Yeah, man. I would have to say probably I'm gonna hit on one and then hook y'all with another one. Really, the Monday night, the Redskins beating the Seahawks. I mean, what's up with Russell Wilson? And the Seahawks are looking pretty off the rocker right now. I don't know what they have going on. I mean, I know there's no running game to speak of, but with everything else they have, Metcalf, Lockett, Wilson, I just don't understand why they cannot score any more points than what they're doing.
Yeah, and to point that out also, you look back when we had Just Static on last week, he was pointing out DK was his bust actually last week, and look what happened. He did bust. He didn't even have anything. So I'm really confused on how that's been a thing. How are you not getting someone with that athleticism involved in your game? And especially against Washington again, surprising, everyone once again, upsetting the Seahawks. Well, I don't even know if you want to say upsetting anymore. The Seahawks, I mean, the record's 3-8, but yeah, that is definitely a game that pointed out to me as well, with Washington barely getting that win. But 15-17, lowest scoring game. You would think Russell Wilson's going to air it out and they're going to have some, great yardage, but very, very bad on that. But the one I wanted to talk a little bit about also was the Packers and the Rams. We were all talking about best of the NFC, basically. And you see the Packers held on. I mean, even without Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, we talked about it. He's, the new up and coming running back there in Green Bay. Did his job also with Devontae Adams putting up 104 yards and Aaron Rodgers with his 2 touchdowns. Anyone want to, pick up on that game?
Yeah, I think Green Bay is going to be a sleeper. Sorry, Water Boys, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I think Green Bay is a sleeper in the NFC, man. I think a lot of people are forgetting about them. They're thinking about the Buccaneers and the Cardinals and all these flashy teams, but Aaron Rodgers, man, he just keeps getting it done. Devontae Adams, like you said, A.J. Dillon just plugs in and is a freaking workhorse. You would have to think Aaron Jones would be back for the playoffs. If their defense can step up, that's going to be a dangerous team come playoff time, especially if they get any kind of home field and teams have to go to Lambeau. That's going to be a dangerous team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree to that. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Packers. I know they're great offensive with, Rodgers and Adams and the Jones and all that of the world, Dillon. But I really thought with the Rams defense and Von Miller, I thought he could make that package a little more complete. But, they didn't really struggle to do it. Stafford, he done what he needed to do, but there was no run game to speak of the Rams the other day. I think their leading guy had somewhere 50-something yards. I think he was under 3 carries. That's not going to do a lot, but they tried and they fell behind, put it on Stafford, and he just couldn't complete it. They come back for him too far down too early. I think he threw a pick six early in the game, if I remember right.
Yeah, that sounds
right. I
believe
so. What about this week, guys? We saw already the Cowboys and Saints. I don't even know what you want to call that. Wow, Taysom Hill. You guys want to talk about him?
Yeah, I would.
Mama was talking about him after last night with 4 interceptions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4.
Not looking positive after once.
Waterboy, I'm gonna have to cut you off because you're staticky right now. You're a robot. If you want to leave and come right back in, maybe that might help the audio issue.
Yeah,
we got Hex in here too. What's going on, Hex? We got Kindle.
What's up, man?
Hey, we got an extra guest up in week 13.
It's a party.
We were talking about a great quarterback named Taysom Hill. Any thoughts?
Oh God, he's a hell of a fullback.
You don't think his arm is cut out for the NFL?
No, man, not even close.
Well,
I'll speak to that. First off, screw him, because he threw 4 interceptions and still ends up with freaking 20 fantasy points against me because he's a freaking running back and puts up 100 rush yards. And then playing the Cowboys, blown coverage twice, so they magically scored 2 touchdowns. So screw Taysom Hill, put him tight end, whatever. But the Saints are stupid because they've thrown a bunch of money at him, and he is nowhere near an NFL quarterback. We saw that last night.
So what's the move for the next week, though? You keep him in?
Well, they're gonna be forced to issue because he injured his finger, much like Russell Wilson did. So he's possibly going to have surgery and be out for a while. So I think it's going to go back to Simeon anyways. So.
Well, we got Hex up in here. Anything you want to talk about
better,
for the games?
I guess.
Kendall, any games stand out to you this week in Week 13?
Yeah.
I think he left us.
You still got
he's
me?
here. He's here. Yeah, we got you.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Pittsburgh-Baltimore game. Usually a tough, close game. Looking to see if Lamar can bounce back after a god-awful showing. Look kind of like Taysom Hill out there.
Yeah, Lamar. Wow.
Looking forward to that. And can Najee Harris get back on track? I mean, he looked like he was shot last week. I know he didn't have a lot of opportunities compared to normal because the game got away so quick. But man, even what he had, he looked shot. I want to see if he can bounce back or if that workload's finally catching up.
There you have it. And I'll let you guys know also a shout out to I'm trying to think the Bulls Rush. Is that what it is?
Yeah, fantasyfootballbullrush.com. Go check us out, man. New stuff posted pretty much daily. Pretty good stuff, man. I'd say go over and check it out. We have weekly rankings if you have any kind of tough calls you're trying to decide between and need a little bit more things to consider. Go check it out, man.
So yeah, Hex has articles. Also, our other boy Hail Marys also posts articles as well. Great content over there. We'll drop the link in the description of the video, so go click on that. It'll shoot you on over. Read some of their articles, updated almost daily. Just about. So, anyway, Waterboy, what about you, man? Any big games you looking out for?
Any big games? Yeah, I'm gonna look at. We're gonna have to go with my Chiefs and the Broncos. I think
that's not a contest. Come on, man.
Are you saying the Chiefs are that good or the Broncos are that bad?
I'm saying the Broncos are that bad. I'm not gonna give you the Chiefs are that good. Not this season. But.
Man, come on now.
But you think that's going to be a game? Do you really think that's going to be a game?
I think it will. I mean, they're fighting for the division lead, man. I mean,
true.
Hopefully the Broncos will have a little spunk to them to get in there. I mean, of course, I'm hoping for a Chiefs win, but to pick on a few homers in here, Bridgewater is not great, but he's not that bad. I mean, he's managing, and you got Javonte Williams. He's coming along finally. All the receivers are back healthy again now, so they're not playing bad football. I see a close contest in this one here. I don't see, this is going to be a touchdown or less, in my opinion. Game.
Thoughts on that, Bunk?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a primetime game for a reason, big division game, like he mentioned. I think the Broncos will come to play, man. Their defense hasn't looked too bad. And like he said, Teddy Bridgewater hasn't been, he's obviously not the best quarterback in the league, but he does play smart. He plays safe. He doesn't like to turn the ball over. Javonte Williams, like he said, is big. I think Melvin Gordon's going to be out this week, so for fantasy purposes, Javonte Williams is going to, probably be a huge part of the Broncos' offense. So, should be a good game.
So look out for Javonte in the run game of the Broncos. They got. It's a division game. That's the one thing I will say. It always comes down to competitiveness, division games, especially how close that division is as of now. The Chiefs have to win. And right now they've been haven't been playing really well. So let's see if they can get back on track to the Chiefs that we've seen in the past years, or at least the last couple of years. But one game that really shouts out to me is actually the Monday Night Football game, and that's the Patriots versus the Bills. And the Bills have been really just rocky, and you never really know how they're going to pan out. They lose to the Jags. They somehow beat some good teams. I don't really know with the Bills, but they're going up against a Patriots team who is right now red hot. And I know King Chris is out there watching the Laces Out podcast right now, and he was saying talk about the Patriots, how they beat whoever last week. And yeah, they're just red hot. And will we see that again against Buffalo? That's the question. What are your thoughts on the Buffalo Bills versus the New England Patriots?
Bills are going to be strong enough. This is another first place AFC East over there. You know, if the I see the Patriots winning this definitely in a squeaky clean. I mean, you know, Nick Folk field goal contest game here. The Patriots showed them that, hey, you know, we're not out the door yet, and they got, you know, Mac Jones over there. He's screaming. The defense is lights out. So I'm going to pick the Patriots and their players and go with you know, Mac Jones, the defense, and Mr. Folk would be the play on that game myself.
I actually completely agree with the last half of what you said, because the first half was a little choppy, but the last half, because the Patriots are red hot. We talked about this. Also, I don't know. Here's a stat: 5-0 on the road right now. So it's not like they're, you know, crutched by being on the road. They're actually at an advantage. As you see, they're 5-0 on the road. They're going into Buffalo, obviously a tough place to play, but I mean, you've seen Bill Belichick do it again time after time. Mac Jones starting to feel a little comfortable in the second half of the season. I also see a Patriots win coming out against Buffalo, and Buffalo has been playing streaky though, so maybe we might be able to see the best of the best, but I don't know. Bunk, what are your thoughts
You
on Monday night?
what was it? The Bills lost White last week. You know, one of their better corners.
Yeah, Tre'Davious
You know, he's
White
out for the season. And then New England, I know a fella that's on here. He got Diggs and thinks he's going to do good this week. But man, New England's got my boy J.C. Jackson up there. He's going to lock him down, and Hex is going to hate on me. But that's what's going to go down this weekend.
Bunk, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I actually completely agree. I don't trust Buffalo. They're very streaky. They do have a good defense and points allowed, but number one is New England, and they just got a solid defense, and they're playing complementary football. Their defense is kicking other teams out of the end zone. Mac Jones is getting it done. Nick Folk is averaging 12 points a game the last few fantasy contests. So I'm with Rocky River. I want to see it happen again. Nick Folk put up another 20 point fantasy game for me. But yeah, I think they're going to rise to the occasion. Big division game could determine the division, honestly. And New England just surprising a lot of people, man. Nobody really picked them to come out with a rookie quarterback and as good as the Bills were last year to go toe-to-toe with them.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Patriots looking hot. Hate to always say that, but it's true. It's true. For my Panthers, hey, we can't lose this week. That's a victory in my book. We're getting drunk later. Go Panthers. But hey, Hex is back with us. Hex, how's it going, man?
Hey guys, sorry I had to run in and pick up some pizzas.
Oh, that sounds great. What kind of pizzas you're picking up?
I'll be waiting on.
Just some Hunt Brothers for the kids. I got my company Christmas party tonight, so gonna leave them with something to eat.
Feel you.
Can you take a +1? I can be ready.
Hey, baby, come on down. Hey, they got free alcohol all night long. And
Dilly. Woo!
You might have to take +3 then.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's go with the +3 on that one.
Come on down.
Where's it going to take place at?
Big venue in Charlotte.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, we were talking about how the Panthers cannot lose this week. What are your thoughts on that, Hex?
Well, I think they're about all but guaranteed to lose this week.
That's right.
I mean, they don't have much left, man. I hate it for McCaffrey. It's been just another year of him being on IR, and without him on the field, their offense is basically non-existent. So
I want to actually talk about that. Like the biggest upsets in fantasy as of coming into the season. Also the biggest like wows. Like I can't believe this guy came out of nowhere. I guess that's an upset. I guess the opposite end of an upset as well. So it's like someone obviously like a J.K. Dobbins on draft day. You draft him. Obviously he doesn't play for the whole season. How do you feel about that? It's like, you know, that was just one of those sucky moments. But for someone like that though, like any upsets, Bunk, that you were kind of just like, wow, I didn't think this guy was gonna pop off.
I mean, the biggest surprise, honestly, to me is Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I think everybody thought he would be good, but I mean, dadgum, man, that kid is just freaking awesome. I mean, he's just running all over people, just having a breakout season. I mean, Derrick Henry was getting all the headlines before he got hurt, obviously, because I mean he's a stud. But Jonathan Taylor was quietly putting up good numbers, and then just blasted off, and is just putting up ridiculous numbers. And honestly, another one, not just because I have him, but Joe Mixon, man. I mean, the past couple of years he's kind of been a disappointment, and this season, man, he's the top 3 running back right now. He's carrying their offense.
I think also Cordero Patterson. I didn't think that dude. I was like, what the hell? I was like, this dude's gonna be a drop eventually. You know, Mike Davis gonna take the role. Cordero's just, you know, that passing guy. He might be, you know, here and there, kind of like a James White kind of factor. But this dude's been popping off throughout the whole season. Obviously, I think that's my big one.
I would kind of go to the other side. Some people didn't have a lot of belief in Mike Davis, but he is just face planted.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
and I do like that.
If you get dropped from the Water Boys, if you get dropped from the Water Boys roster, you suck.
I know where you live, Mr. Bump.
Oh man.
For me, it would be Deontay Johnson. I mean, everybody kind of expected, you know, high-end wide receiver too, with some big weeks here and there. But the guy's just, I mean, he's a model of consistency. And the big thing for him this year is staying available. He's obviously had a real big history of getting hurt. You know, he's had a couple big weeks, and then he'll be out for 3 weeks and, you know, leaving games in the first quarter every week. But he's managed to stay healthy this year, and I mean, he's just a target machine. You know, Ben's not what he used to be, but, you know, even those little short routes, especially in half and full PPR formats, I mean, Deontay Johnson's a top 5, top 10 wide receiver in those formats.
I think, yeah, I like that one too. Deontay definitely, because I drafted him. I was like, okay, cool, got my wide receiver too. I'm chilling. Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, look what I had. But for me, I'm trying to think of who I just had in mind for a letdown. Someone like Calvin Ridley. I mean, he just and it's not, you know, nothing about it. It's just of him not playing. It's another letdown for me. Julio Jones. There's another guy who's going to be the wide receiver 2 or 1, whatever you wanted to say for the Titans. They're supposed to be the team to pop off and show us what they had. I think just the Titans as a whole was a letdown. Any letdowns?
Yeah, you put A.J. Brown in that group too for me.
A.J. Brown too. I mean, he's had his games, he's had his moments, but definitely not what you expected.
No.
No.
That's all I got to say about
Thanks for letting me in here for a little bit, guys.
Yeah, man, always a pleasure.
Loving the show as usual. Y'all keep doing your thing. And again, everybody remember, go check out fantasyfootballbullrush.com. Link will be down there when they get finished. Come check us out.
That's right.
Good luck.
Man, have a good time at your party tonight. Be safe.
Yes, sir. We're going to do it. Thanks, man.
Steal some beers for me. Dilly.
Yeah, Lee.
I'll mention a couple more guys. I mean, we'd be doing a disservice if we didn't mention Cooper Kupp.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
I mean, nobody expected him to be the number 1 wide receiver. And then for my disappointment, it'd be Saquon Barkley. We were expecting him to be back healthy this year, and returned to his form, and he hasn't at all. And that, honestly, that whole team has been a disappointment, but specifically Barkley.
Oh, another great letdown. How about, hang on, I just had him. Where am I? Oh, Antonio Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone at the beginning of the draft, everyone's like, Antonio Gibson, he's the next CMC. Well, maybe when CMC's hurt, because we haven't seen Antonio Gibson really do much. We did see him as of recent, maybe get in the end zone. I'm pretty sure they had a nice win over another team with an Antonio Gibson. Oh, I think it was Tampa. He scored basically the game-winning touchdown, which was cool, but definitely not living up to the hype.
Yeah, definitely a slow start, but he is starting to come to life. And J.D. McKissick's out this week, so I expect him to have a good week against Las Vegas. He'll get some extra targets, but even with him, the last few weeks he's been looking pretty good.
True.
Yes, sir.
Anything you guys want to add on to before we call it a show?
Nah, man. I just hopefully everybody's got their team geared up for the playoffs, good or bad, and mainly still engaging in your team, not just letting it ride and taking nails with a bunch of bye weeks and injuries. Even if you're 1-0, 10-0, 1-12, whatever, stay engaged in your league, man. You're here, ride it out.
100%.
Well, that's it for the Laces Out podcast, week 13. Good luck to everyone besides you, Hail Marys. You can suck it. We'll see you guys next week in week 14. Peace out, guys.